Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all.
Big Knicks, big tricks. Give a fuck about them Bucks, huh? Creaky freaky, no more. Nothing sneaky. Me and Flea were talking about it offline. Akeem the scheme, back at it, robbing these NBA players. They worried about these ladies draining them out of their money. You need to worry about heading to Houston, working on your post moves and getting straight scammed out of a post maneuver. Jesus Christ. Josh Hart locking your bum ass up in a 118-109 victory from the Nueva York Knicks. Let's get to it. Where's the box score at? Where's the box score at? There's the box score right there. Giannis, 30 points, 5 fouls. His last one was when he clotheslined Josh Hart damn near because Josh Hart locked his bum ass up the last couple of possessions. He had 5 fouls, 3 turnovers, 15 rebounds, so a double-double for the Giannis, the Greeky Freaky himself. 10 to 14 from the free throw line. Impressive coming from him. And the Bucks had 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in double figures, 20 for Kyle Kuzma, who looked like he couldn't miss a damn thing. 13 for Ryan Rollins, who usually smokes us. I think he had like 6 points in the first quarter, pissing me off. 18 for AJ Green. I always thought he was black until I saw him like his 20th game in the league. AJ Green sounds mad like just like a black dude. 10 points for Miles Turner. I think he's robbing the Bucks too. Miles Turner's kind of a bum, to be honest. He could not be his second best player. Anyway, let's get to our Knicks. 14 points from Mikal Bridges. 19 for Josh Hart, who started, by the way. Mitchell Robinson on the bench. Plus 15 for Josh Hart. 15 rebounds. 19 points, 15 rebounds. Big double-double from him. 0 for 4 from 3. He was shooting 44% in the month of November, actually, from the three-point range. In case you didn't know. 4 fouls from him. 9 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Woo! 10 rebounds. Damn, when was the last time he didn't get a double-double? And if you were to expect Karl Anthony Towns not to get a double-double, it would have never been from a lack of points.
How
But
much Cat had again? You got to repeat that. You know, little bum here. What do you have?
9 points. He had more rebounds than points. When has that happened in Karl Anthony Towns' career? Maybe back in Minnesota when he used to get average less rebounds. 19 points from Deuce McBride, who got the start, along with Josh Hart, as they benched Mitchell Robinson, who played almost 19 minutes. He had 6 points off the bench, 7 rebounds. There was a stretch there. All 6 points came in the second quarter where they went straight to him 3 or 4 times. He scored 3 out of 4 plays. Jordan Clarkson hit a fadeaway, but that was big. We'll get to that in a second. And of course, 37 from the captain himself. 5 assists, no turnovers. I repeat. Wait, is that the right guy? I'm sorry.
No,
He had 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He had 3 turnovers. I got a little too hyped. I'm sorry. Plus 10 for him, though.
Big Flea is here. The biggest.
Oh man, Pop Duke's in the building.
It's about to be some truth telling in the
Behave
building.
yourselves. Behave yourselves. The real OG is in the building.
Yabusele had 6 minutes of action. I really don't ever want to see you again on that court, Yabusele. I'm sorry. And Tyler Kolek. There were times where they had Tyler Kolek and Brunson in the game, y'all. Tonight, Mike Brown was trying some things. Let's get to the game charts real quick before we move on to the reaction. You see here the first half, Milwaukee was in control until the end of that first half. The Knicks went on a run. And part of that second quarter was when Mitchell Robinson was starting to get off, got the ball in his hands. Cat sat down. Brunson was in the game. We'll get to that in a second. The Cat and Brunson lineup, I don't know. But you see here the second half, Knicks controlled most of it, which is the most important part. 18 lead changes. 13 was the biggest lead that the Knicks had, and they came back from a 12-point lead that the Bucks had. And the rebounding edge goes to the Knicks. 55 rebounds for them, 40 for the Bucks, 25 assists for the Knicks. They got the assist edge for the game. 10 steals, they get the steal edge for the game. They lost the block battle 4-2. Turnovers less, 3 less turnovers in the Bucks. Bucks had 15 to the Knicks 12. The Bucks shot 52% from the field. The Knicks shot 45%. The Bucks shot 43, basically 44% from the 3-point range, and the Knicks shot 41%. But here's the kicker: 68% from the free throw line for the Bucks and 84% from the Knicks. Kyle Kuzma missed some big free throws. Giannis missed some free throws. Let's talk about it. Oh, boy, big win. Who, as they say in the streets.
We needed this win. For me, I really don't pay attention to that cup shit. I don't care about none of that. This was a revenge game. Um, Giannis played. He played well. Understand, he's on a minute restriction and he's a little injured, but I didn't see nothing. Monster game by him, and Kuzma having one of his best games so far this season. Like you said, Green 6 threes, and for us to capitalize and get this W. Listen, big win. Get things kind of back on track. I kind of like what Mike Brown did with some of them lineups, right? Because it picked up the pace of the game. You gotta watch the game and survey the landscape and understand what's going on. The problem I see though, fellas, Cat and Brunson don't mix. I'm sorry. Like, them two on the floor together don't mix at all. Once again, Brunson put us on his back. I gotta give props to Josh Hart though. Let me real quick. Josh Hart played a hell of a game today. We needed his effort, his energy. We needed that bad. Like, seriously, the turnovers and things of that nature. Sometimes you got to live with him in a game like today because, come on, the mismatch with him and Giannis is ridiculous. And, he held it down. So I got to give props and props is due. Kolick, some good minutes. But let's talk about my guy, Mitch. Mitch, listen.
Oh, that's crazy.
Flea, we all know the game of basketball, right? Whether we played at a high level or low level or no level at all. We all know, you drive in the lane, 2-3 collapse, somebody's going to be wide open. You dump it down there, let him put the ball in the bucket. So for me, I think his minutes was very crucial today. He does what he does, offensive rebounds. But for me, this is about Brunson and Cat, fellas. They have to figure this out. If we're going to contend, forget contend for a championship. If we're going to make a deep playoff run, if we're going to have a great NBA season and be respectable on the court, they have to figure it out. But tonight, I see Mike Brown peep that, and he didn't have them on the floor together a lot. And I love that he seen what was going on, and Cat was struggling. But they have to figure that out. You cannot be successful when two of your best players have no chemistry and can't be on the floor together, which is probably due to defense. But also, it just seems like, I'm going to be honest, for me, Cat is in Brunson's way offensively. But tonight, for me, was a big win. Like I said, we played against a team that eventually down the stretch, down the line, we're going to have to visit. And this was a confidence booster. As you see, we have guys that can play. It's just that it's tough that every shot we make is just, it's a hard shot. It's a tough shot. Flea, Fabian, slow down, Clarkson. Slow down, bro. Please. You do not have the green light over here. Slow down. But I really have no complaints. But Cat has to figure it out, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Cat is not helping his case to stay a Knick. Seriously. On the Knicks Instagram page, a lot of people in the comments are saying, get Cat out of here. Like, we watching them, we seeing what we have, and Brunson is a dog. And I'm gonna be for real. No Brunson, we are jammed up. So for me, I don't know how long Brunson is going to be able to do that. But tonight was a big win. And like I said, I just need Mike Brown to assess the situation, and he has to be a great coach on the fly. You got to see what's out there, see what's going on. Okay, this is what it is. Remember, Milwaukee got all those big, goofy guys. Okay, we're going to put some guards in there and pick up the pace. So I like that part. But once again, big body Brunson came through in the clutch. Deuce hit some big shots. Deuce hit about 3, 4 threes that kept us there, or just where, so for me, it's difficult, but guys are going to have to play like that night in and night out and be consistent if we're going to have an opportunity to really do something special. Because as we see, Orlando is good without Big Carroll. We know what Detroit is on the West Coast. We already know those juggernauts. So the way we play tonight, guys are going to have to play like that on a consistent basis. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, but Mike Brown got everything out of that bench, and I just loved it. But I really have a problem with Cat. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, Pauls, but I'm gonna be honest, fellas. Every game, I'm losing confidence in Cat. I don't like his skill set. I don't like how he goes to the basket, and it's just, for me, he just looks worse and worse every game. I'm sorry, I could be exaggerating, but come on, man, you can't have 9 points. This was a big game tonight. But listen, I got to give props to Deuce, and I got to give props to Josh Hart. That's your guy. I give him a lot of flack. He played a hell of a game today, and we needed every bit of his energy, every bit. But listen, people can say what they want. Boy, Jalen Brunson is the truth, man. Seriously. And I know it's tough for guys to give him his props and him being the MVP race fleet. I'm gonna let you cook, but listen, man, that young man is the truth. And if he gets the proper help when OG come back and guys can knock down shots, that's what gives us an opportunity to really do something special. But big win tonight, because come on, it's against a guy that's averaging 13 and 15. Big win tonight. Big win.
Fleet, we've seen some things. Your guy, Josh Hart. Josh Hart. He was in there guarding Giannis throughout the entire fourth quarter. Yeah, he got scored on. But he locked his ass up a couple times. What's your reaction to the game? And of course, all ball.
I think we missed the people the last game against Charlotte, right? So this is the last time we saw everybody was the game prior to that. But I would say this: the last two games for the Knicks are extremely promising, right? Just from shooting the basketball perspective, right? We was just talked about Deuce McBride hitting two big shots, a couple big shots down the stretch. He was 5 for 5 the other night against Charlotte, and he was cooking them the other night. So the ball is dropping. Guys are hitting shots. Our offense seems to be slowly but surely figuring it out. I do agree with you, OG, in that Cat and Brunson don't seem to be on the same page on the offensive end. I think that could be a deadly pick and roll game. I think that could be a deadly two-man tandem, but for some reason, they don't play well off of each other. From what I'm seeing from Cat is if you get Cat going early, it establishes his confidence for the entire rest of the game. I don't see Cat as a guy that can get it going mid-second quarter, going into the third quarter, and then him be able to ride that stride going into the fourth quarter and be able to close out games. Cat has to start games early on, get a rhythm, and be able to ride that rhythm throughout the rest of the game. You know, a la how he looked against Charlotte the other night, right? He was really aggressive. He was getting to the rim, finishing with the right, finishing with the left. Tonight, he didn't take many shots. He wasn't very aggressive. He didn't look to exploit his matchup. For me, I felt like he took one drive to the rim against Miles Turner, and when he got his shot blocked, it deterred him from doing anything else for the rest of the night. It was almost like Miles Turner owned him for the rest of the night in terms of trying to get to the rim. And for me, I don't think that is, that's not conducive for our second best player. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? When we rely on him to be dominant, right? When we rely on him to be a mismatch every night because he could draw the defense out to the three-point line, or he could take you off the dribble and get to the lane, get a layup, get a dunk, or get to the line. Like, he shies away from that, right? We can't say enough about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is aggressive when he needs to be aggressive. He's playmaking when he needs to play make, right? He's a tough shot maker. He's strong. Footwork is impeccable. Like, he's doing everything that he can on the offensive end, right? But I still see points throughout the game where us as a collective, as a team, we struggled defensively. That first half, we allowed them to go on like 1 11-0 run and then 1 9-0 run. that I thought that we didn't stop the bleeding. We didn't dig in and get a stop. We didn't do the proper things as a team to really stop the bleeding, right? They may miss a shot, and now we got a fast break point, and that started the momentum for us. But if we started to lock in on defense, which the few times we have this season when we build on our defense, like we get great shots offensively. We get in transition, we get dunks, we get layups, right? We frustrate the other team. But when we're not locked in on defense and we get into these slugfests with these teams that are good, right? We get into this half-court sets and we trying to fly around and shit like that, and we're giving up 3-point shots, open 3-point shots, y'all. That's something that we've been struggling with for the last season or two. And right now, like AJ Green took 12 shots tonight. All 12 of his shots were from 3-point range. He hit half of them. Right? He didn't shoot anything else, which means we're not running him off that line. Like, we're not allowing him to say, oh, shit, I can't get that. Let me put it on the floor and try to get a layup or try to get something mid-range. He got a 3 every chance he wanted to. So that's not promising for me when we're trying to pick it up on the defensive end. I thought Josh Hart was amazing tonight. Y'all know how I'm the biggest Josh Hart fan on the panel. Y'all know how I talk about Josh Hart all the time. But like OG said tonight, we needed that. That 19 points, we needed that. Those 15 rebounds, we needed that. Those 7 assists, we needed that. All of that, filling up the stat sheet, we needed that. Josh was picking it up from last game. He had a 19-point first half against Charlotte the other night. So he's had back-to-back games where he's really showing up. We need everybody to come along. Deuce is coming along. Jalen Brunson's coming along. I thought Mikal Bridges wasn't as aggressive as he could be, but again, throughout the second half, he looked amazing. So I can't say nothing bad about him. He started taking shots. He started hitting shots. He started picking it up defensively. I was impressed with his second half, right? So if we can get Cat to join the party on a consistent basis, this Knicks team is tough. If we can get him to join the party on a consistent basis, this Knicks team is tough. Our bench struggled tonight. I thought we could have been better off the bench. The minutes that we got from Mitchell Robinson were decent. I wasn't thoroughly impressed, but I thought we could have got better minutes from him. Kolek was extremely impressive to me tonight. He hit a 3 tonight, and I thought it was 1-3, right? But you could see his confidence, right? You see how he shot that. He shot it with confidence. He wasn't stiff. He let that shit fly, and it was money, right? Pick up on that. Be aggressive. Get in the lane now. So our bench has to be better. I'm not going to talk too much about Yabusele. At some point, either we're going to have to find a way to get him off the basketball team, or he's going to have to find a way to, start hitting shots and start being effective for us somehow. And the last thing that I got for this win, big win, right? I'm like OG. I don't really follow this cup thing. It's a regular season game for me. However, we're going to get wins. We get wins. Was really, really impressed with the challenge that Josh Hart took in that late game situation against Giannis. Just trying to defend him. He was really no match for him. Josh can't guard him, but I seen him bodying him up. I seen him making it tough for him. I seen him taking certain fouls that he needed to take, making him trying to pass out of that matchup. I thought, and Giannis was phenomenal tonight. But down the stretch of that game, they went to him, and Josh Hart was stood tall. In most situations, we would have OG in that spot where OG takes that matchup. And if we can see things like that where we're taking on the challenge of playing defense when it's a late game situation, that's promising. The whole team got to come along. I thought it was a big win for us tonight.
Definitely a big win. It was exciting because we won and it felt like a real victory. Normally, this year, I don't think our victories, I don't think they haven't been convincing, because that was a big convincing win, big second half. Our second halves have been disappointing. We've been up and down. The Josh Hart defense was amazing. The Cat and Brunson thing stood out. Still, their chemistry. We'll get to that in a second. I definitely want to table that and have us go a little deeper into that discussion because now it's been over a year, and the lineup change, the starting lineup. We didn't talk about that. Maybe we should get into more of that. Mitchell Robinson benched, and he finally looked like there was a spark in him after 2 games against the Magic, where they looked like they ate his food. Um, I think that was the last straw for Mike Brown, where he's seeing like, what can I do to motivate him, or just does this thing work with Mitchell Robinson? First quarter, play 3 minutes, then you get benched, and we start you at the end of the first quarter. Now you're being predictable. Everyone knows Mitchell Robinson's coming back in for the end of each quarter, beginning of each quarter. You can't be predictable. And then on top of that, Mitch's play makes it even more predictable. You suck, or you've been sucking. So now in this game, Old Ball said it a week and a half ago. How are we going to get him the ball? Why aren't we getting him the ball? And that's part of the reason why I wanted Jordan Clarkson to start over Shamit when he did, because he's the only guy, him and Brunson, and even Hart goes to the basket. They get to the paint. Bridges doesn't do it. OG be stumbling and bumbling. Hopefully he's all right. We got to get to the bottom of that because I don't even think he's traveling with the team. Was he on the bench tonight? Was he there in the stadium?
I did not see him.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
So he hasn't been traveling. Like, that's a bad sign. We know how the Knicks are with the injuries. They keep it a secret. They said Julius Randle will be back in a couple of weeks, and he was gone. So that's dire to us because we're already down our defensive genius in my mind, and Mitchell Robinson is just he's there. So he played great. I mean, he caught an and one, or no, not an and one, a tip in that didn't count at the end of the first half, and just to get him the ball is traditional basketball. It's just logical basketball. If you got a 7'2" guy who can't create his own shot, why aren't you as smaller players trying to feed him the ball and boost his confidence, or just you're making him realize that we know you out here, but we know you working. That's the whole point of a point guard and guards and everybody feeding the big man. It's always, if it's in transition or we get it, we can't run a real play for you. You're not Tyson Chandler. We can't really run real plays for you, but throw the ball high off the glass. You guys can get to the basket. Brunson, you're gonna get double team Brunson. Jordan Clarkson, he knows how to get into the teeth of the defense. So the fact that we saw that, and that's when they started dominating. And you know what? Before we get to this topic, I need my partners, my cohorts, to be with me while keeping our eyes on the prize, baby baba. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Hope you had Jalen Brunson tonight for more than 30 points. Hope you didn't have Anthony Towns for more than 10, because boy, oh boy, were you disappointed. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right.